time, baby. Are you ready for pool parties and backyard barbecues? This dude sure ain't. Bro, no one's gonna eat that food when you're out here seasoning it with your chest hair. Be ready to man the grill. Go to manscaped.com and get yourself the Lawnmower 3.0, the best personal trimmer for your butt, balls, and body. Featuring skin-safe technology, this trimmer helps to reduce nicks and snags. And the 7,000 RPM motor helps to ensure an easy cut even through the thickest bush. Did I forget to mention that it's waterproof? Now you can trim anywhere. There you go, buddy. Head over to manscaped.com and get yourself the Lawnmower 3.0. And for a limited time, get free shipping and a free Shed travel bag.
It seemed like I had an extra gear.
I take it for pretty much anything.
It was a subtle difference, but a very noticeable difference.
I felt hyper-focused.
It helped me be present.
I'm able to recall everything so much faster.
I'm able to choose words that more encapsulate my thoughts.
It will help with your creativity.
A lot more relaxed, a lot more calm.
At the end of the day, like, I still feel like I can go a whole nother day.
I've been way more productive.
I've just been able to get so much more stuff done.
It does stuff.
I love it.
It does not get better than this.
Dude, I give this 10 thumbs up.
Alpha brain. Stop killing yourself and be a savage like your Uncle Joey.
What are you trying to accomplish and what makes you happy?
It ain't about the money. It's not about the brand. It's not about any of that. It's about, did I move the people?
Welcome back to the Final Shot Podcast. Today on the show, we have the #1 bull rider in Canada. These guys are back to work now. You can usually watch them on TSN2, or there's an app you can get on your phone. It's called Ride Pass. It's fairly cheap and inexpensive. Go get it so you can support these guys. Ladies and gentlemen, Dakota Buttar.
Hey.
How's it going, buddy? You good?
Yeah, good. How are you guys?
I'm fantastic. You a little nervous?
No.
Okay. So you guys are back to work now. Probably not as much as normal, though, right?
No, it's like typically this time of year is our busy time. Like, we just about go to event just about every other day during the week even, but we got one this week and one coming up next week, so that's our slowest time I've ever had to be during this time of the year.
What's your normal schedule then? Like, how many events are you hitting a year when the season's going?
The last few years, I start the first weekend of January, and I'm every weekend till end of November. That's like 2 or 3 events, sometimes some during the week too.
Wow.
This year I wasn't going quite as hard, so it kind of started it was starting up in March, really firing up every weekend. So it typically with rodeos and PBRs, it's anywhere from 3 to 5 events a week.
Oh man, that's busy.
Yeah.
It's not like you guys are playing badminton either. You're jumping on giant animals.
Yeah, there's some wear and tear throughout the year.
Well, 9 times out of 10, are you injured getting on a bull?
Not necessarily injured, but usually like this time of the year when it's a normal year, you're sore getting on. There's things that are just sore and aching this time of year.
Like we've talked to Jared Parsonage and Brock Radford on here before, and I told them the last time I went to the PBR here in town, I seen some young kid just get dummied. He got knocked out, clean out. And I was like, how is this fucking kid going to get up and go get on a bull tomorrow?
Yeah, it's something that happens, but now, like, with the concussion protocol, like, we're monitored pretty good now. If we're with the PBR, we don't really get to make that decision as much as we used to. So it's a positive. It's going to be making things for the better, but there's other things like, like sprain wrist, tear something, and you got to get on the next day, or else you're not. The other guys are going to be, and they're going to be passing you, or you need bills to pay, so you got to get on.
So here's a question then. A sprained wrist or a hurt hand is going to happen because you're locking that hand in with a rope to hold on to these big bastards. Can you go to the other hand if you need be?
I personally never have. There has been guys in the past that have, and it's worked out for them, but not too often guys do that.
It'd probably be something you'd have to train then, huh?
Yeah, like, there's been a few guys I know that have done it, and this naturally, it didn't phase them one bit. You think they've rode that hand their whole life, but for me, I don't think I'd do very good at it. Everything would be a complete opposite, having to do it. Everything would be opposite side.
So if you hurt your hand, you're just sucking it up and jamming it in there and going.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You guys are nuts. So Kindersley, Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
You're just down the road from us. We're in Swift Current.
No, really?
Yeah.
I don't see that far at all.
We're almost neighbors.
Yeah.
So the PBR is kicked back up. Do you guys have fans?
So we had an event in Lethbridge a couple weeks ago. They had the building closed, and this had like a drive-in theater type event.
Okay.
For the being outside. There's an event this weekend, but they're keeping it under the 150 people, so there'll be a few people watching. But
as you guys have an event coming up, I believe in September in Saskatoon.
November.
Sorry. I plan on making an appearance at that event, hopefully. But
yeah,
I'd like to know if they're gonna do tickets or if it's gonna have to be some kind of a drive-in thing.
As of right now, it's gonna be people. Like I don't know if anything's changed yet, but there's an event in Grand Prairie, Medicine Hat, still that they are selling tickets for. Those are in September. So as far as I know, they're still having people in attendance there.
How old are you?
27.
So you're just a young buck still.
I'm starting to get some age on me now for bull riding world.
Yeah, I've talked to
rocking them guys are the young guys.
Yeah, I've talked to Radford and Parsonage, and Jared's a little long in the tooth, I guess, for bull riding now.
Yeah, I'd say about the average age of guys starting to retire is about 33, 35 in there, that range.
Now, the other two gentlemen I talked to are kind of big for bull riders. What's your stature?
I'm about 5'9".
So you're still kind of big.
Yeah, I'd say I'm a little over the average height for the bull riders. Probably with that 5'7", 5'8" is kind of average.
And what's your weight?
140.
Oh, Jesus, you're light. I couldn't imagine being that small. 5'9", 140. That's an average kind of weight, though, 135, 140 for bull riding.
Yeah, I'd say that's kind of, even the real tall guys, they don't weigh a whole lot.
No, it's surprising because you're jumping on such a big animal and you guys are just small.
Yeah, it's kind of the perfect body build for a bull rider to be long legs, short upper body, and you don't have a whole lot to control there.
So basically, if you could put your upper body on Parsonage's legs, you'd be good.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a tall bastard. He lies about his height all the time too. I'm pretty sure he's 6'2" or 6'3".
Yeah, he's pretty tall.
He's tall. So when you what age did you start getting into bull riding?
So I started like riding steers when I was 8. That's just like steer riding, that kind of stuff. And then I shifted to bulls when I was 15 and then went professional when I was 18.
Oh, so you've been doing it for a hot minute then.
Yeah, it's hard to believe it's been 10 years already.
10 years. Did you ever do mutton busting when you were a kid?
Yeah.
I did that when I was a kid. That was a heck of a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You get on those sheep and they go.
Yeah.
So steer, explain to the listeners, like when you're just coming up and you're jumping on steers, what's the goal? Like, did you do the two hand, the one hand? You did the two hand?
Yeah.
I feel like that's dangerous.
It can be with the two hands because you got enough to protect yourself from coming down. So it's a lot of young kids get jerked down and hit their head when they're that little, but it's something I got sick of pretty quick. So I learned to keep my chest out and not get whipped down like that.
Okay.
And I probably got jerked down less with two hands than I do with one hand now. But it's all a thing. Like one of the last years I rode two hands, I went to 74 rodeos and got on a total of about just over 100 animals that year, and only got jerked down on 2.
Oh wow! So
that's a pretty low percentage like I probably get jerked down more than that now.
Well, you're getting on the upper echelon of the bulls in the world at this point.
Yeah.
So the PBR bulls, are they different than the local rodeo bulls?
Say that again. You broke up there for a
Sorry.
minute.
The PBR bulls that you're jumping on, are they a little different than the local rodeo bulls?
Yes and no, it depends, because a lot of the PBR bulls go to the pro rodeos now, so they make the miles there too. But the local ones around here, they're called amateur rodeos, so they're a step down. So there's some bulls there that could fit in just as good at the PBRs as any, but they're, for the most part, they're a level down from the PBR Canada bulls and pro rodeo.
Okay, so do they put these on like an experience level?
Yeah, like you can work your way up. Like that's what I did too. I started at Little Britches rodeos and moved up to CCA rodeos. They're called like a semi-pro amateur, and you ride there and then kind of work your way up from there. You can move up to pros or PBR or whatever.
Is it same for the bulls though too? Like, do they start on the smaller circuit and then go to the CCA and then go somewhere else?
It depends on who owns them. Like sometimes the bulls that are in the CCA and the amateur rodeos get pretty good, and they'll sell them and move. They'll move up too to contractors to go just to PBRs and stuff. So some of them do. Some of them are just born on the ranches of the guys that raised as PBR bulls. So some of them switch back and forth.
I feel like this bull business is very lucrative.
It's starting to get pretty big now. Like, and in the States, it's a lot bigger than up here, but there's getting to be a lot more guys in Canada now raising them.
So everyday life can't be all bull riding for you. What do you do on a normal day? You have a regular job?
No, I'm just full-time bull riding. Last 4 years, I've been on the tour in the States, so I was only really home Tuesdays, Wednesdays, so I had no time to really have anything else going on. Is fly home Monday or Tuesday, leave Thursday or Friday, so I was pretty busy then.
Well, it's kind of nice to be able to work at your craft full time and be able to make enough money to sustain yourself and not have to go be a Walmart greeter.
Yeah.
That'd be a terrible job.
Yeah.
Well, what does a regular day look like for you then? Are you getting up in the morning training? Are you like a parsonage where you just don't do shit and you just jump on bulls and do well?
Yeah, there's some guys that train constantly. I'm not one of them. I'm kind of more like Jared. I have my own place here I've been building, so I've been kind of just, whenever I get up in the morning, I go outside and work on getting stuff done here, looking after cows and stuff. So there's enough work during the day. I kind of keep fit doing that, so it's enough work and I stay pretty busy.
Okay, so you have a farm then? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, I just bought a new place and started from scratch building, so lots of stuff to do.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So what do you live in now? I'm looking behind you and I'm seeing the cupboards. Is this a trailer?
It's a new RTM.
New RTM. Those things are nice, actually. I don't know where you got that one from, but I've been in some that are Amish built, and they're ridiculous.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just like the cupboards are hardwood, and the bathrooms are stupid. They got friggin' jacuzzi tubs and
oh man,
that kind of stuff. I don't know what you got, but it looks nice from what I can see.
Thanks.
So, what's the plan with this property that you're doing? It's going to be all cows.
Yeah, my girlfriend has horses too. She barrel races a bit, and I have about a dozen cows. I'm trying to raise buck and bulls myself, so I got buck and shoots in a little arena I'm gonna set up eventually. So it's kind of hobby place for now.
Well, how much area do you have?
40 acres.
Oh, that's big enough.
Yeah, it's big enough for me.
So it's a lot of property. Derek, you're sideways. We admitted Derek into the podcast. He got.
You think I would be the tech guy? I know this shit, but kick me out, Tanner. I'll fucking sit lurk on the sidelines. Good way to kill a vibe.
Yeah,
now it's working.
Okay, now we've got him switched.
I don't need to be in here.
So the gentleman that you've been talking to over the Instagrams, this is him.
What up?
The producer of the show. I'm sure he might be able to chime in with some questions.
But you know what? You know where I'm sitting, Dakota? I'm gonna kill my feed. I'm gonna play a highlight reel right where I am.
Okay.
So, actually, I'm gonna leave this feed up. I'm gonna put the highlight reel where I am, but you'll see me now. But I'm gonna edit this shit out and post right now. This conversation we just had. So back to where we were.
Anyway, he's going to put together a highlight reel for you, probably be about 40 minutes long, of some of your best rides and all that kind of stuff. We've been doing that for the guys that have been coming on. What the fuck was I talking about? You screwed the
interrupted.
whole thing up.
We were talking about his badass house, his RTM,
the RTM.
and how I'm looking for a roommate. So.
No.
You want to move to Kindersley? Just slide into his guest room.
Slide in and get in on the bull riding. But no, go ahead.
So you've been on the road basically 10, 12 years doing this kind of stuff. You got to have some interesting stories.
Yeah, there's a few. I mean, probably the best experience I had was when we had the Global Cup in Australia.
Okay.
That Brock and Jared were there too. There's just a group of 6 or 7 of us from Canada, so it's cool because I'd never been there. A couple other guys had been. And it was just whole new territory and all seemed foreign. Like it was kind of like starting bull riding again because didn't know any of the bulls, didn't really know anything there other than the 6 guys that were with us. So that was probably the most fun I've ever had bull riding was down there last year. I think that was last year.
So the Global Cup's a bit of a different setup than a regular bull riding, right? All the scores get tallied together.
Yeah, that's the only team format we have in bull riding. It's not just us riding individually. It's a team of 6 or 7. It's the most exciting event of bull riding I've ever been a part of.
So you're a fan of that format then?
Yeah, I am. It's a lot of fun. Even from the rider perspective, I think the fan perspective, it's even better.
Okay, so that's like Canada versus the United States versus Brazil versus Mexico, right?
Yeah.
Because I seen they had teams like Pendleton Whiskey, what was the Ariat, they had that on TSN this year. So are they adopting that format, and is that going to be a regular thing?
I'm not sure if it's going to be regular or not. Like since the first couple Gold Cups they were throwing around that idea just because it was so popular, and they just with how the years being, it kind of played out that it would work this year, just keeping certain groups of people together. But I think it went pretty good again. I wouldn't doubt that they keep having events like that throughout the year.
It was great to watch. They had it all live on TSN. I really enjoyed it. Derek, I think we could probably put together a badass Final Shot podcast team. We'll take Dakota. We'll take Parsonage, Radford, and then I'm going to make Dakota team captain, though, because he's number 1 right now.
If there's not a mutton fucking joke on my behalf, you'll be the sheep fucker, Derek. I'm like,
you
thanks,
could be the sheep fucker.
Thanks, guy. Yeah, there's no water boy in bull riding, is there? No.
There could be. We could have a squirt bottle and you just squirt it over.
Oh shit.
Maybe no.
Oh yeah. So back, Australia, crazy times. Good times.
Yeah, it was fun and kind of. I love the bucking bulls. Like they're one of my favorite things. There's bull riding. Like it's so cool how they have their own personalities and they're athletes on their own and have their own workouts, stuff like that. So down in Australia, they're like a different breed down there, and they're a lot bigger and taller, and there's some other funny looking cross things. That's what got me. There's some like buffalo cross things in there too, so it's pretty neat.
So you have to have a snake story, some weird insect shit going on?
No, actually, frick, I didn't see any animals while we were there the whole time.
None.
I was there for 2 weeks.
Koalas, boxing kangaroos, anything? You got anything?
Just that. We went to the zoo the one day. That's it. That's the only animals I've seen.
Wow, that's nuts. So Australia, you've been over there. You've done the Global Cup. Would you be in Did they do a Global Cup this year in the States?
Yeah, it was in Arlington. It's been in Arlington the last 2 years.
So how did that work with nobody being able... The Canadian guys have to be already living in the United States? Is that how it works?
No, that was just before the quarantine. It was in start of February.
Oh, and you weren't on that team this year?
Yeah, I was.
You were on the team. How did you do?
Oh, I didn't do very good, but the rest of the team kept us floating pretty good.
So with all the quarantine and all that kind of stuff, you came back and you've been absolutely killing it.
It's went okay. I rode a couple. Our first event back was in Lethbridge a couple weeks ago. I rode my first one, and I bucked off one in the short round that I shouldn't have, and that's one I let get away. And then we had a back-to-back event, and I bucked off the second one. So looking to rebound this week.
Because you're still considered number one right now, right?
Yeah.
You're number one in the standings. Our boy Brock Radford's nipping at your heels, though.
Yeah, he's right behind.
Well, how competitive is it with you guys? Is it just fun joshing around, or are you guys mean mugging each other before you get on those bulls?
Oh no, Brock helps me on just about every one of my bulls. So it's myself. I think it makes me better with me and Brock neck and neck like that, because I see Brock go and make a good ride, and that fires me up. And we kind of push each other to be a little better, and there's like a term that you're only as good as your competition, and with Brock and Jared and guys like that, it really pushes a guy to exceed his potential, you know. So I feed off of him, and I think he feeds off me a little bit too.
So it's more of a camaraderie thing than obviously you don't want to see your competition go out there and get fucked up and hurt.
No, come on. It's in a sport like this, like when we're going down south together, we're rooming together. We're basically the family we got down there. Like we go down there by ourselves. We're looking at it after one another. If he gets hurt, I go to the hospital. If I get hurt, he comes to the hospital. So when it's something, if you get hurt and have to sit out, you ain't making any money. So I wouldn't wish that upon my freaking biggest enemy. You know, I don't want to see anyone get hurt and have to miss events like that. So I want to see Brock. I want to win as bad as I do, but if I don't win, I want to see Brock win or Jared win too.
You wouldn't think that. You wouldn't think that. You think you'd be pretty competitive. Or I thought the PBR would, to sell memberships or sell viewership, would start fake rivalries, almost like a WWF angle. Like, oh, Dakota hates Brock. Next up, we have, I really expect anything to get viewers involved, and it's kind of nice to hear, because there's no shit talking like mixed martial arts, where there's always the shit talking is an important part of the fight. But like you would think, and after interviewing the last two guys, you'd think a guy would break and say, you know what, I really hate Dakota, but he's a piece of shit, But nobody ever talks shit about each other. It's fairly respectable, and I just didn't expect that. But and there's no even ribbon or even like little bit of jabs, because like I would expect that, but you guys are really supportive, and it's kind of made talking to you guys really kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways,
I feel like it's more like they pit the riders against the bulls. That's the draw in. So I don't know who's the best bull on the circuit right now.
Shoot, in Canada, there's, in my opinion, there's a bull called Homegrown. He's a handful. He got Bull of the Year last year, and I think Jared rode him in Lethbridge a few months ago, and I think he's probably going to be the pick of the pen again this year.
So it'd be like something they would set up, like Homegrown versus Dakota Buttar if he gets
right.
But you guys never know until you get the draw, right?
Yeah.
So you get a draw, and then do you get to pick your bull?
So usually with the PBRs, there's a long round, so everyone gets on. So there's 25 guys. All 25 guys get on, and then they bring the top 8 or 10 scores back to a short round. Mm-hmm. And at some of the events, we get to pick our poison for a short round. So the number one guy gets first pick of what he wants in the pen. So we do that at a handful of events, and then sometimes it just, however your placement is coming into the short round, you just end up with whatever bull on that list in your placement.
When you get to pick your bull, it's an interesting thing, because I feel like you guys try to pick the baddest motherfucker in the pen.
I personally don't like it, because I seem to always pick the wrong one.
Seems to be working.
Why is it the wrong one, though? Is it because you pick the one that you think that you can't ride, or is it the one that you think you can ride and you over?
Well, no, I try to pick the one that I think will fit me the best, but there's been a few times I picked one and it didn't go my way at all. But that's how it goes. I could have drawn the one that didn't match up with me the least bit too. So I just like leaving it in the draw's hand, and I can't blame myself for picking which one I did.
So what kind of a bull that matches up with you best?
I like the bulls that spin to the left, so that's into my riding hand. That's what I prefer anyway.
So are you a top guy or a side?
Are you a bottom? Or where do we? We're
Easy.
I ride like with the rope. You talking?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't.
I ride with the Brazilian rope, so it's down the side a little bit.
So I was listening to the broadcast, and a lot of the guys, they're talking about Brazilian and then whatever the other one is. So it's interesting to see that some of you guys are adapting over to a Brazilian style.
Yeah, I say it's probably 80% or better now ride with the Brazilian style rope.
Can you explain that to me?
Yeah, I just kind of want to know the difference.
So they're basically backwards from the traditional American style rope. Like with the traditional rope, I ride left-handed, so the rope would pull from the left side. Brazilian, it's pull from the right side, and it basically the rope wants to kind of move towards that side that you pull on. So with the traditional style, I pull down the left side. My hand kind of wants to creep down that left side a bit, but the Brazilian, it wants to creep back up. So it kind of pulls you back to the middle, which makes more sense. There's one big thing, like a lot of guys with the old style rope, you can hang up pretty easy, but with the Brazilian style, it's almost impossible to hang up with it. So that saves a lot of injury and soreness with that.
Okay. So when you like him, I can't remember if you said you like him going left. What happens when they go right then? Does that side, like when you have that Brazilian rope, is it more difficult to go the opposite way?
Learning at the start, I had a little bit of trouble with it because it did feel quite a bit different because it wants to pull you back to that middle, where the other old style rope wanted to pull you out a little bit. So it kind of had to change the balance and your rhythm a little bit, but it takes a little bit of adapting. But now that I'm adapting to it, I like it better.
Well, I want to know a little bit more about the ins and outs of bull riding, because back in the day, I feel like you could have been a half psycho and just show up to the chutes and jump on a bull if you wanted to.
It's definitely turned into more of a business style now. Like back then, like when my dad and stuff rode, it was you got hurt, who cares, get on the next one. But now it's more, I think guys are riding a lot longer now. There's guys are looking after themselves. They're taking it more serious, like a professional sport that it is, than years ago.
I think it should be taken seriously though, because you can't just put on an LA Lakers jersey and go play with Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace. Sorry, that was a bad. That was a bad reference. You just can't pick up and go and play with LeBron James or jump on the ice and play with Austin Matthews.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And if this is considered a professional sport, it should be treated the same. Like you just can't have Joe Blow from Mexico show up and jump on fucking baddest bull on the planet.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody will die.
Yeah, there's like. Even with, like, we got our sports med and we have our trainers and sports medicine at every event now, too. So things like that is just taking it to the next step, making it more like a professional sport. So things are getting, I think even the next 10 years, you'll see a big difference in bull riding and rodeo.
We just got to get you guys paid like hockey players, right?
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't know what an average winner for an event is. You can actually go online, which I think is wrong, and figure it out.
Yeah,
I think they should be disclosing what you guys make.
Probably not that accurate,
but it could not be that
probably
accurate.
Fluff the numbers, yeah,
maybe fluff them up a little bit.
Yeah, make them look like they got
Dakota
big purses.
$250 to show up and do this thing.
No, they put down. They paid them $10,000. Meanwhile, they got like $40.
Yeah, that would suck. The sponsorship opportunities coming in a lot more now that this stuff is kind of on TSN. They got their own Ride Pass app and all that.
Yes and no. Like it definitely gives them a lot bigger, broader opportunities with the TSN stuff. But right now, with everything's kind of slowed down, just with everybody's hard time right now. But we'll see how the next year goes. Hopefully, things get firing up to normal next year. But we'll see.
I know you're sponsored by Wrangler. You got to be.
I'm Cinch.
Cinch. That's kind of like a high-end brand.
I'm pretty proud to represent them.
I would be. Their pants are like $140. They ain't cheap.
How'd that come to be? We were talking about sponsorships with Brock and some of the other guys, and how they go about getting their sponsorships, and especially like for yourself. One guy referenced maybe Brock. I said did it all himself. He might have some help supporting with like not a manager per se, but you get your sponsors all yourself.
No, I had help with cinch. You've probably heard Tanner Byrne. He used to ride bulls, night bull fights. So this is the company he's with now, 3D Bull Riding. They're like an agency, so they help bull rider stuff get sponsors and stuff like that.
Okay, let's back up. This is important.
This is important.
3D. Pardon me. What's it called?
3D Bull Riding.
And they're an agency, a bull riding sponsorship agency.
Yeah, and they also put on the big PBR events in Canada. So they're big. Like they put on most of the events in Canada for PBRs.
And where are they based out of?
Saskatoon.
Fuck, you gotta love the Saskatchewan boys, eh?
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, it'd be a good, interesting. And speaking of sponsors, who else do you have?
I have Dance and Oilfield Services. They're awesome. They help me out a lot, and they're good family friends too. So it makes it even better. And then I got Energy Dodge from Kinnersley and Coots Agro.
That's good.
They'll help me out, and it's pretty cool. They're all local people too.
Right. How much support are they giving you? Not exactly in dollar amount. Are they? What I'm trying to say is, are you relying on your prize money, or are you relying on your sponsorship to get by every day and feed your family?
With the sponsorship, they definitely help me get there. I can get there confident and not have to necessarily life or death if I don't make $1 that day. They keep me going down the road, but it's still the prize money is what I make my living off of.
Right. They give you a free truck, and what are you rolling with? Must have a big badass Dodge.
Yeah, they got me in a pretty nice half ton.
What year?
19.
Oh, just a 1910.
Is it a Dodge?
Yeah.
God damn it.
You're not a Dodge guy?
Fucking hate Dodges.
What do you drive?
I drive Ford F-150.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta love a Ford. They don't break down like those fucking Dodge things.
This is
Dodge parts are expensive too, which I found out.
Yeah, they can be.
He wouldn't know. He's sponsored, motherfucker.
Yeah, he gets all his parts for free. Fuck me, right?
Joke's on us.
On the road back in the day, Brock Radford told us some fighting stories. I can tell by you've probably been in a few fisticuffs over some guys touching your damn cowboy hat.
No, not a whole lot. Not as much as Brock.
Yeah.
He's notorious, huh?
Yeah.
It was our first time interviewing, so it took us a little bit to warm up to him. But once he did, it started going up. But it kind of leads me into my next subject. Do you guys check out his Instagram last night? We were talking about buckle bunnies before.
Oh,
that's his girlfriend. God damn it!
I know. With all due respect,
she comes from a bull riding family. All of her brothers are professional bull riders.
I'm definitely not gonna shut my mouth now. However, I'm with respect to Brock. Yeah, well done. But are you involved in a relationship with a bull rider or a rodeo girl yourself?
Yeah, my girlfriend Caitlin barrel races.
Married, kids?
No, just girlfriend.
Just practicing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've brought up barrel racers once or twice before with some of the bull riders that have been on here, and they weren't fans.
Yeah, it's
Look at that
everybody
response.
has their own opinion on it.
I'm trying to get him in trouble now, but it's not going to work. So what's her name?
Caitlin.
Caitlin, and is she like is that what she does? Is barrel race, or does she have a regular job too?
Yeah, she's a hairstylist too. Barrel race is for fun.
That's why your hair looks so good.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
I want to talk about the barrel racers.
Okay, go ahead.
And maybe this is
I'm a fan actually. I like it.
Are they by the bull riders like yourself? Are you? I'm going to use some terms. I may be less respected, maybe, or you don't like them, or they're in the way, or they're annoying, or what's your view, or why is it the minute we talk to a pro bull rider, we mention barrel racers and shit gets weird?
Except for you.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. There's some crazy ones out there.
God, I love my crazy bitches, man.
I like watching the barrel racing myself. I've never interacted with one, but so I don't know. I don't want to get him in trouble either, where he's gonna have to sleep out in the back 40 somewhere.
Put it on me. Yeah.
It was maybe
he's not home right now, so it's okay.
Maybe we'll get Radford back on and he'll explain why he fucking hates it. So, when you go to a bull riding, is it just when you go to the pro rodeos, they have the barrel racing there, right?
Yeah. So they have all the 7 events, and PBR is just strictly bull riding.
So does she go with you to the pro bull riding events and compete there too?
She hasn't competed in a couple of years, but she tries to come to as many events she can and just watches and hangs out.
Make sure you're not getting fucked up.
Yeah. Looks after me. Drives once in a while, gets us lost.
Yeah.
So what is the best rodeo or PBR event that you've ever been to other than that Global Cup in Australia?
Oh shoot, I have a lot of different favorite ones. Probably my favorite PBR event in Canada is Saskatoon, just because it's so close. That's pretty well my home event, so I got a lot of family and friends that come, so that's probably my favorite event here.
Okay. And then you've been to the Stampede, obviously?
Yeah.
And did you enjoy that experience?
Yeah, that one's fun. It's usually hot as hell there, but yeah, you can't beat that one either.
Brock was saying it's a little corporate for his liking. It's in and out. There's like it's like you don't add a lot of time in the shoot. You got to go. It's like you got a bunch of city dwellers that are like weekend cowboys, and it's maybe as much as he loves the event, he kind of said it in a half jest. I just wanted to, what you thought about that. Is it you like the smaller rodeos, though, the hometown vibe, or you like going to the big show with all the fucking nitwits?
Yeah, I mean, like Stampede, you can make a lot of money there, but same they don't treat you as good as they should. You know, we're the ones riding, not the however many thousand people there don't even know what's going on or even speak English. So
yeah,
I think they should treat us a little better. My favorite rodeo I've been to is Houston Rodeo. It's kind of the same format as Calgary, and that's my favorite rodeo. Like they treat every event or every contestant like rock stars there, and that event is awesome.
I've heard the Ponoka Stampede's really good too.
Yeah, that one. So Ponoka is pretty well the next biggest one in Canada next to Stampede, and it's pretty well all the same competitors too, and stock. So it's pretty well just a warm up for the Stampede. It's all the same, everything really.
I've always wanted to go to a Calgary Stampede, but the amount of people that go there freaks me out.
Yeah, it's insane. It's shoulder to shoulder, and it's 30, 40 degrees outside, so that doesn't make it any better.
No, and then you got all these guys wearing white hats. I don't understand the white hat.
Why does that bother you?
Yeah, it bothers the shit out of me. Because like, if I put a fucking white hat on, it's got 10 minutes before it's dirty.
All right.
You know?
No comment.
Like, why not put on a brown one or a gray one or a black
one?
Well,
the colored ones are felt, so they're so much hotter in the summertime. The white ones are straw, so they breathe and aren't as hot.
Okay.
I've got a straw one, though. It's not white.
I'm not arguing with you, man.
No?
No, it's like a fucking... It's not white.
No.
It drives me nuts. Anyway, we don't even have to talk about it anymore. It pisses me off. Like, they do a pan in the crowd, and all you see is white hats everywhere. But you know these motherfuckers, when they go home, they're putting on a baseball hat.
Yeah. Usually on backwards too, and they're sitting in the stands.
That's something I've never seen, but I'd love to.
Don't.
How do you put a cowboy hat on backwards?
Watch me.
I have no idea. There's a tag in the back, you think you know, but I guess some people are new to it and don't.
Well, most
don't
hats
know difference.
Are a little wider in the back than they are.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. They get their shiny Ariats out for the day and their white hat, and they go to the Stampede, get some fucking dollar donuts, and sit down and have a good time. So good for them.
Yeah, exactly.
I wanted to ask you, just being a local, Dakota, to our area, how do you cut your teeth? Where's the minor leagues for you? You turned pro at 18. Were you doing local rodeos? You said you're a family farm and you have bulls yourself?
Yeah, I rode at CCA, and in Alberta there's like FCA, LRA, they're amateur rodeos too. Okay. So all Alberta and Saskatchewan, I rode at those, and then when I was ready to make the step, I did when I turned 18.
Would you argue this point, because hockey's been known to be notoriously expensive for kids in Canada. Or is bull riding a really pricey young man sport? Like, you got to have backing from the family?
Yeah, like definitely. If it wasn't for my dad, I wouldn't have been able to make it. He packed me all up and down the road, paid the fuel when I couldn't afford to pay it. So
there's no paper route that's paying for gas at this point. Like, you gotta
especially nowadays. Like, the fuel prices now is a lot. It was expensive when I was younger, but it's a lot more now. So and wearing a vehicle too every year, putting on that many miles. So
do you ever look back at your youth and think that you would have rather done hockey, or was this the right path, or do you ever get in?
I still love hockey. I miss playing it. When I'm not as busy in the wintertime, I'm definitely gonna start playing again. So
you are.
Bull riding is definitely what I went the right direction. That's what I wanted to do, and I'm gonna stick involved in rodeo and bull riding even when I'm done myself. So it's I still love hockey and other sports. I still do them as much as I can. So
are you still based out of Kindersley?
Yeah, I'm south about 20 miles. I'm just outside a little town called Etonia.
Okay. And is that where your parents are? Your whole family farms out there?
My parents live northwest or northeast of Kindersley a little bit.
Okay, gotcha. And
I'm about 45 minutes from their place.
Just to back it up so I completely understand a little bit.
This is going to be a while.
No, it's not. You started. How old were you when you started getting on bulls?
Like steers?
Yeah, I started steers when I was 8, and then I went to the big bulls when I was 15.
And then, what determines the amateur versus pro? Would you have a certain amount of rides in? You start making money, you start making a scene, or you start crushing it, and people say, "Hey, man, you want to step it up?" Or is there a process to it?
So I first started getting on the big bulls when I was 15, but I was still the junior bull riding age, you call it. So I rode junior bulls for 15, 16. I went back and forth to open bulls, and then I was done the juniors completely when I was 17 and rode just open bulls that whole year. And there's a, FCA, LRA, and CCA, or the amateur association that I was in. And I won the FCA and LRA and got second in the CCA. So when you win an amateur association, you can so when you turn pro, you got to go through steps. There's like a permit stage. You buy your permit, you got to win so much money and fill that. And then you move to your semi-pro stage, and then you got to fill that one too. And then you get your full pro card. So when you win the amateurs, like the FCA, LRA, CCA, you get to bypass your permit and skip right to your semi-pro. So I had won those two, so I got to skip it. So I thought I'd just go ahead and try it anyway, seeing I get to bypass it. So I went to 2 rodeos and I filled my full card. So then I was away to the races from then.
This is a lot more in depth than I thought it was going to be, man. It seems like there's a lot of paperwork, a lot of money that needs to be made, and a lot of steps.
It can be. They make you earn it to get your full pro card. Like, you don't just let anybody go and enter. Like, even if you're new and buy your permit, like, you can't even get into the big rodeos just on a permit card.
See, that's where I was going. Does it get political? Because let's say the association doesn't like you and you're not going pro because you're from Kindersley and I don't like those guys over there, and you did some shitty things over here. You know what I mean?
Not quite like that. Like,
right.
If you're making money, they can't really deny anything. But in a judge sport, it can get political sometimes. Sometimes judges get caught up in the hype and crowd themselves.
I think that's universal in any sport. Hey?
Yeah, it's like that in boxing too. Like, if you're the hometown guy, you're going to a decision. 9 times out of 10, you're winning.
Yeah, exactly.
Is what it is. That's why you just got to knock it the fuck out of the park. Take the prize money and go
every
home.
Judge sport, when it's like that, when it's human judges, it's human nature to get caught up in that. I just know I never want to be a judge when I'm done.
Oh yeah, that's not a career path. You would say like fuck it, make some extra money because you're 50 and done. Yeah, okay. What is the next step? Like you said, you want to be in here forever. You can't ride bulls forever. What's the progression? Are we gonna?
I'd like to be a stock contractor when I'm done. Like, I have a little bull herd right now, and
What is that?
Trying to
Say it
work
again.
my way.
What is it?
Stock contractor. Like I want to be
Those
able
are-
to bring bulls to the events.
Those are the guys that breed the bucking bulls that these guys
Yeah.
jump on.
Okay.
Yeah. So this can lead into a whole different subject. When you're gonna, let's say you're gonna go buy a bull, what do you look for in a bucking bull?
The breeding's getting to be pretty popular now. Like I look at the breeding quite a bit in them and their builds. I like the big, tall, gangly bulls myself, but that's kind of what I look for in breeding too. The bigger, taller bulls and their performance themselves too. No, it's not necessarily if a bull bucks hard as calves are gonna, but sometimes it can be the opposite too. Sometimes a bull might not buck at all, but his calves buck really hard. So it's a lot of studying and just learning as you go.
So what breed of bull then is it that you're looking for?
So bucking bulls now, there's so many, it's so deep. They're pretty much their own breed now. Like they're American bucking bulls, basically what they're called. But it's heavy Brahma influence in them. That's where you get the big humps and big ears. That's kind of Brahma influence in them. But it's so in depth now. So many generations. They're their own breed, really.
So they're basically like a pit bull then.
Pretty much.
A pit bull dog is a breed now, but they're realistically a mutt.
Yeah, that's basically what bucking bulls are. Like they have a little of everything. Like it's heavy Brahma. Like they have a lot of Brahma breed in them, but they're mixed with everything pretty much.
So the original breed of bucking bull is going to be a Brahma bull.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what else would they throw in there to get size?
There could be like Angus in them for size. Like I know there's been some bulls with Hereford in them. A lot of times Longhorn with the color and the big horns. Yeah, it can be. It's pretty well everything in them, really. It just depends on what each bull is built like. That each build is a different breed of them. And
are these calves? Are they expensive to purchase?
It depends. Like if you got something with pretty famous breeding in them, then yeah, they can be pretty pricey to buy even as a calf.
Okay, so once you get the bull and you raise it, do you sell them off? You rent them to the PBR, or how does it work? How do you get them in the sport?
Like there's the normal contractors that bring to each event, and they're kind of the main guys everywhere. But right now, for me, if I get one, I don't have the time to haul it. So right now, if I get a good one, I'll sell it or let somebody just pack it and get miles on it for the year. But there's a lot of guys that just do that too, just raise them and sell them. And there's guys that raise them to buck them and haul them too.
Do you have a training schedule for these things then?
So now you can even compete with the bulls now from yearling 2-year-olds up until they're older bulls. Like there's futurities called with yearling and 2-year-olds you can compete on with just dummies and stuff. This year that I've been home, I've been doing that a little bit. There's been a few I've video them and send them in and they judge them. So I got my own shoots at home, so I've been running through and bucking them on once or twice a month.
So you got your own training facility basically at home.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Oh, I feel like when this guy's like 40, he's going to be famous as fuck.
I think it's fucking road trip time.
Yeah. I'll go jump on one of those young things.
We're coming over, Dakota. We're going to fucking check this shit out, man.
So when you say dummy, is it the same thing that I've seen online where they strap, it's like a square weight?
Yeah, square box, yeah.
And then it has a button that you eject? Is that how it works?
Yeah, it's like a garage door opener. You push the button and it releases inside and it comes off when you want it to.
So how does that work? Does it just give the weight of or the feel of a rider, or just some weight?
Yeah, a little of both, because it's got the cinch around their midsection there, so it tightens up on them a bit, and then it's basically the weight though that they feel and try to buck off.
How heavy are these things?
The one I have is about 15 pounds.
Okay, so nothing substantial.
No,
it's just a little bit of pressure, and they go nuts.
Yep.
So do you have something in the herd right now that could be big?
I got one of my yearling bulls right now. He's the best one I've ever had, so I'm pretty excited about him. I've entered him at a couple of the futurities. He's done okay, but I'm excited about him.
What's his name?
Chili Pepper.
When we were talking with Jared and Brock, referencing those guys again, they said to me, like, the real athletes are the bulls. Like,
yeah, for sure.
And those are the real kings of the show. And just by talking to you right now, like, is there a maintenance fee, a workout schedule, a maintenance fee in terms of food? They require the best food, a lot of physical activity? Are you are you keeping them in shape by riding them? Is that the plan?
With mine, I'm still trying to learn what guys are doing, but there's guys that do have, like, run their bulls, and they have special routines for them, and it's a lot of the feed too. The feed bulks them up and keeps them pretty trim and stuff like that. So,
is there steroids in the sport?
I've heard there is, like, there's been bulls you can tell are on it by the way they look, but
just these fucking jacked fucking
fucking angry as shit.
But you know, back to training a little bit. It's kind of like between Jared and Brock again. They weren't giving a lot of their secrets away.
No.
When we're saying, like, do you have a training protocol? Are you, like, they talked about a little bit, but, like, I was watching old clips of a dude balancing on a basketball for hours on an end, just standing on it.
Yeah.
But
like,
you said that basically they just said our training is just getting on the field and getting it done.
Riding horses too, like cutting cows and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, like guys like Jared. Like, Jared has a lot of ranch where he rides horses a lot, and he's a pretty busy guy during the day. You don't really have time for that. But myself, like, I do set, like, those heavy balls, or those, not basketball, but I think it's a medicine ball.
Yeah.
The weighted ones. I stand on that a little bit. That reminds me, I haven't done that much lately. But other than that, like, I just watch a lot of videos and pick out what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah,
right.
He did mention YouTube. He did mention YouTube as, like, really a go-to for him, watching his old stuff or learning from other people. But being such a physical sport, I thought you guys would have, like, almost a stretching warm-up routine. But that seems everybody's unique and different. It seems like it's a wild, wild west, pun intended, still. Like, everybody's still kind of figuring shit out. Everybody's got their own method. I don't really talk about this stuff. I want my buddies to do well, but I'm still out there to win, and I love it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's exactly. There's some guys that like to get on practice bowls pretty consistent. Like, a buddy of mine, Wyatt Gleason, he gets on practice bowls every week at home.
Just for clarity, a practice bowl is not just a shitty bowl. It's actually a metal construction, right?
No, it's up and coming.
Yeah. It's a bucking bowl. It's just not an event. It's just at home. Like, they're good ones.
Yeah, because I saw those practice bowls where it was, like, on a balance beam. It was like a wooden, a metal barrel. Like, it was a weird.
Oh, I thought you were talking about that fucking thing. You go down to TGI Fridays and there's a guy there.
I know.
That's what I thought he was talking about.
This guy over here.
Some guy, like, so those are called drop barrels. A lot of guys use those to practice on the off days.
They're called drop barrels? Okay.
Yeah, they're the metal barrels, and they kind of, I don't know exactly what they're on, but they go up and down.
Yeah, those are the ones I'm referencing. Yeah. But
because everyone has their own kind of deal. I'm more of a just watch videos, and you can really, I just work on sitting on the chair, really.
And if have you been on one of them? What do you call that? Those when those joke bowls.
The one at TGI Friday?
Yeah, the one at fucking every bar.
Bowl?
The mechanical bowls. Have you done that?
Oh yeah.
I've done it in LA. I've done it twice. I won. I got third place. I got to go to.
You're a champion.
No, dude. 3 people entered. 3 people entered. I got third place. But have you done that for fun and shits and giggles? Have you done the mechanical bowls? Oh,
I've hopped on a couple of those at Calgary Stampede.
You know what? I don't know why there isn't a traveling mechanical bull guy that goes to Rodeo and you just fucking pay him $5 and you be a fucking
there
asshole.
Probably is in the States, guaranteed.
Be an asshole and
I guarantee you there's guys in the States that do that.
I've seen the mechanical ones and I've seen the ones with the fucking ropes and there's like 4 dudes on each door and all that shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I had one of those as a kid. My dad brought me one.
You had one?
Yeah.
Fuck, we're coming over, man. I don't care what people say.
Yeah, we're gonna come pay a visit.
Fuck you. We're over. Yeah.
We give you COVID. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Do you want to wrap? We can wrap this thing up. We've been here for an hour. I got some quick fire questions for you, and then we can get you the hell out of here.
That'd be fun.
Sounds good.
Copenhagen or Skull?
I don't chew.
God damn it!
Fucking. That's a rare one, man.
That is. Everybody else has had an answer for that so far.
Really?
Yeah. Toughest bull you've ever been on?
Probably Pearl Harbor.
Pearl
He
Harbor.
he was runner up for Bull of the Year a few times in the States and on track to winning one before he died. So that was probably the rankest bull I've ever been on.
What had happened? Did he buck you off, or did you ride him?
Oh, he bucked me off pretty quick.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the shortest ride you've ever had?
Shortest, I've been like 0.8 seconds before.
Oh shit, that's fast.
Yeah.
So what happens when do they just huck a shitty when they come out of the chute and you're gone?
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what happened that time, but I slapped him right as he came out, so the clock stopped as soon as he touched him.
Oh, so he didn't buck you off. You just put your hand down.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah.
They don't give you a do-over for that.
That's bullshit. That's so bullshit, man. Like, fuck, come on, dude. Let me, run it back at least.
Best rodeo.
Best rodeo, I have to say Houston or Pinocchio.
Greatest bull rider of all time.
Of all time, my hero would be Chris Shivers.
I've never heard that one yet.
Yeah.
We've had JB Mooney and we've had Lane Frost. Chris Shivers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check that out.
Chris Shivers. He's my guy.
Best bullfighter.
It's hard to say. There's so many good bullfighters there. Like, I grew up with Scott Byrne. Like, actually, back to the mutton bus, I got a picture of my very first sheep I rode, and Scott was bullfighting. And then I got a picture of Scott's last rodeo he bull fought, and I was on a bull.
That's cool, man.
That's
I
neat.
like shit.
Yeah.
I like shit like that. That means a lot to me, man. That's fucking cool.
That's neat.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll put it this way. Who's the bullfighter that saved your ass the biggest?
Jesse Burns saved my ass a lot. Ty Prescott has too. Ty's another one of those guys that moved up with me all through steer ride and stuff. He got me out of quite a few binds.
Favorite boot brand?
Boot brand. I have to say Brahma boots.
Brahma.
Canadian made brand.
Yeah, it goes with Brahma bulls too, so you're good.
Yeah.
I got a couple.
Okay, go.
I got a couple. This is a personal one. Do you have any superstitions in bulls? In your, do you have any superstition, or is there superstitions in bull riding that you see?
Yeah, the cowboy hat on the bed thing.
Tell me about that
a big
one. I'm learning this. So this is the first one that people.
I've never heard this one.
Tell me it. What's a cowboy on that? Tell me. What is it?
I don't know what the reason is, but you're just not supposed to put your cowboy hat on the bed. If you do, you're supposed to throw it on the floor and spit in it. But I don't know what the reason is, but
okay,
I just follow it.
Yeah, I like it.
So have you had to spit in your hat before?
No.
Okay.
I don't put mine on the bed.
What's an unusual habit or something absurd that you love? Unusual habit with your bull riding, absurd thing. Is there some weird diet or nothing?
Not that I can think of.
I've had weird shit come through that one. Unusual habit. Weird guys eat weird shit. Fucking wieners and shit. And the last one I had was well, this one you kind of answered yourself. Would you rather be a cowboy or a bull rider? That seems like bull rider all day. And then
I like cowboy too because I have cows and stuff. And
oh yeah,
I think he is a cowboy
stuff.
though. You are a cowboy. You're out there fucking around doing shit.
Yeah, I'm at home doing stuff with cows during the week, and
okay.
As soon as we're done here, I'm going to check cows and water them. So I'd say cowboy.
Do you have horses too?
Yeah, Caitlin's got a few.
Okay.
Okay.
So are you checking the cows on horseback, or are you getting on ATV?
I got to get on a quad at this one there, about an hour from my place.
Sponsored quad, I'm sure.
I better be Polaris.
Honda.
Honda? Okay.
Yeah.
And this is my final call. What is some bad advice you've been given, or something that just like you could tell the younger generation? Like I was told this some bullshit. Man.
Don't do this.
Don't do this. People think that's what you do, but don't do this. Don't do that. Here, show up early. Don't show up early on these events, or make sure you say hi to this guy or whatever. Any bad advice that you got? Or you could pass on.
The biggest thing I think is, like everyone's got their own routine and what they feel comfortable with, but growing up, I had a lot of people trying to tell me where I should go and where I should ride. And that kind of pissed me off a little bit. If it's not what you want to do, don't do it. Do what you want to do. Like I had guys telling me I should go down south and ride like 5 years ago, and I wasn't ready yet. I had no interest in going. I waited until I had an interest in going and then went. And there's other like great bull riders like Sage Kimsey. He gets a lot of flack about not riding in PBR, but it's not what he wants to do. He's got other goals, and that kind of it pisses me off a bit. So it's not somebody's. If it's your goal, it might not be somebody else's. So I feel if a young guy coming up, stick to your guns of what you want to do, stick with it.
It's kind of like our thing. It's all fun and games until you get punched in the face.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't want to do it, don't get punched in the face, then don't go do that. If you don't want to ride a bull in fucking Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, don't go do that.
Yeah.
If you want to fuck sheep, don't go do that. I don't care what you say. And last thing, we do a thing on the show. We get our guests to give us a song of the week.
A song that gets you pumped up, puts you in the zone, or a song you like to hear, or something obscure that you like, or even something weird. It's something we have a playlist that we put on Spotify and YouTube, on iTunes, and it's just we got a couple 100,000 downloads. People like hearing what the guests hear, so we got a song. We've some examples of these. What was Brock? Cowboy?
No, he was Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, Can't Stop.
Yeah,
Can't Stop. Red Hot. Yeah, I love how you laugh. Yeah, it's so fitting. And I think it was Cowboy from Jerry.
Parson and Jerry, he likes Kid Rock.
And then, and then we had the great argument we had versus modern hip-hop in the rodeo scene.
Oh, yeah, that drives me nuts.
And Jared was pretty cool with it and said it's part of the show, but Shanner's a bit of a traditionalist. He likes kind of like more cowpoke. It's kind of vibe, but here or there, what do you got? What do you think? Some guys aren't even music guys.
Yeah, one of my pump up songs is Blue on Black, 5 Finger Death Punch.
Oh shit!
Wow, I didn't expect that.
Okay, Blue on Black,
5 Finger Death Punch. It's one of these, right?
That's right. So on that note.
All right, let's wrap this fucking thing up, guys.
That was fun.
The #1 bull rider in Canada right now, Dakota Buttar. Go follow him on the Instagrams. It's Dakota Buttar on Instagram. I believe it's the same on Facebook, not unless you're fucking catfishing people, which you're probably not. But guys, that's the final shot.